better a live dog than a dead lion. So says one of the proverbs. I've always liked that one. So I'm the live dog, not a dead lion. Mind you, I've got a lion's mane, haven't I? Well, could be mistaken for. Christopher Reeve is dead, for heaven's sake. Superman, the actor, came off his horse about the same time of the year as me. A year later, I think mine was June the 1st. 1993 or 4, I'm forgetting, I'm afraid. But I think mine was 3 and he did it in 4 and broke his neck, of course. It's Christopher Reeve, the actor. Basically, the rest of me is getting older, but it still works. Someone giving me a long stare. Not even in my tunic. It's very multiracial, multicultural around here. I love everyone, actually, when I've got the strength. In the same way that God loves everyone, for heaven's sake. Especially those who hate you. That's the whole point of being a Christian. So I'm afraid they're not going to win on that front. That I'm this hateful person who wanders around with hatred in my heart. I mean, it's just utter codswallop. It is exactly the reverse. Anyway, I've got to tackle my stuff. I'm coming up to 9 o'clock. Business hours. I've got a mobile that works. It's got Wi-Fi in there, so that's... Well, I've still got to pay for the other one. I've got a contract on my main device. I finally succumbed, so I'm afraid I'm... Well, I don't know whether I'll ever see that device again or not. Potentially, they've got the password out of me, the pass key, the 6-digit one. I'm told you can go to jail for 2 years just for denying the police access to your mobile. But that means they have access to all of my stuff, not the banking, that's face recognition. But they can go straight into my YouTube stuff. Any of it, all of it. And if they wish, just delete the lot. Bang. As for instance, I said to the custody sergeant, you know, oh, I'm not so keen on you guys getting into my mobile. Oh, he said, well, now, there are rules about it. How do? Lovely morning, isn't it?
All right.
Grand.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful.
You know, they lose their jobs and stuff if they actually tamper with people's phones, so I suppose that's fairly unlikely. But they're certainly in there, having a route around. What? You know, good luck to them. My stuff's on YouTube. Yes, I've said various things, but you've got to prove intent with all of this. That my intent is to do people down. My intent is to frighten them. My intent is to be unpleasant. My intent is to be racially abusive. And it simply isn't. I've got acres of stuff which I intend to make sure is heard about. I've got 3,500 films. Start going through them. I found one of them specifically, L'chaim, quite a recent one. To life it means in Yiddish, or Jewish, Hebrew. I think it's Yiddish, L'chaim, to life. And I'm specifically speaking about neighbours, and this is before this stuff happened, that we must love. I actually go on at quite length about it. When I was still living down in Harpenden, when I hadn't really had any trouble from the neighbours, I'd just been ignored. Actually, so possibly that's worse. My complaint down there was that this is actually true. In the 9 or 10 months I lived in Harpenden, I had one Christian conversation. Everyone knew I was a Christian, wandering about in my tunic. And they all just ignored me, mostly. The neighbour opposite's actually a rather nice chap. Old Steve, he's a landowner from Tottenham. So, in a paradoxical way, I suppose I'm grateful that someone noticed me. And they're afraid. People are afraid of Christians. They're afraid of the light of Christ shining in their darkness. They are. Just per se. You don't have to do anything. They're afraid of their darkness. Anyway, there we are. Life goes on. Catch you later. Yeah. It's my first little one. I just come out and have a quiet little watch the world go by. I've done my little shopping for the day. That's it.